Page 18. Heaven. Two persons with their dogs were walking along a road and were enjoying the scenery when they suddenly realized that they died a long time ago. They also remembered that their dogs also died long before them, but these faithful dogs were still waiting for them. They wondered where the road was leading them. After a while, both the travelers came to a high white stone wall along one side of the road. It looked like fine marble. At the top of a long hill, it was broken by a tall arch that glowed in the sunlight. When they were standing before it, they saw a magnificent gate in the arch that looked like mother of pearl, and the street that led to the gate looked like pure gold. With their dogs, they walked towards the gate, and as they got closer, they saw a man at a desk on one side. They asked, "Excuse me, sir, where are we?" "This is heaven, sir," the man answered. "Wow, wow. Would you happen to have some water?" the travelers asked. "Of course, sir, come right in, and I'll have some ice water brought right up." The man gestured, and the gate began to open. "Can our friend," gesturing towards their dogs, "come in too?" the travelers asked. "I'm sorry, sir, but we don't accept pets." They thought for a moment. One of the travelers left his dog and went inside, but the other traveler turned back towards the road and continued the way he had been going with both the dogs. After another long walk, and at the top of another long hill, he came to a dirty road which led to a place that could not be seen from outside. The man sitting at the gate said, "Come in." "How about my friends here, sir?" The traveler gestured to the dogs. "Of course, sir. Come right in," replied the man. They went through the gate, and sure enough, there was an old-fashioned hand pump with a bowl beside it. The traveler filled the bowl and took a long drink himself and gave some to the dogs. When they were full, he and the dogs walked back towards the man who was standing by the tree waiting for them. "What do you call this place?" the traveler asked. "This is heaven, sir," was the answer. "Well, that's confusing," the traveler said. The man down the road said that was heaven too. "Oh, you mean the place with the gold street and pearly gates?" "Nope, that's hell." "Doesn't it make you mad for them to use your name like that?" "No, but we are just happy that they screen out the mean and selfish folks who will leave their best friends." Moral: a selfish person will go to hell. A person who values friendship goes to heaven. Page 19. Moral of the story. 1. Selfish person will go to hell. Person who values friendship goes to heaven. 2. Let us move boldly. There is a hand above that will guide us. 3. All that glitters is not gold. Page 20. Blank. Page 21. Triple filter test. In ancient Greece, Socrates was reputed to hold knowledge in the highest esteem. One day an acquaintance met the great philosopher and said, "Socrates, do you know what I just heard about your friends?" "Hold on a minute," Socrates replied. "Before telling me anything, I would like you to pass a little test. It's called the triple filter test." "Triple filter?" "That's right," Socrates continued. "Before you talk to me about my friend, it might be a good idea to take a moment and filter what you're going to say. The first filter is truth. Have you made absolutely sure that what you're going to tell me is absolutely true?" "No," the man said. "I actually just heard about it and—" "All right," said Socrates. "So you don't really know if it is true or not. Now let us try the second filter, the filter of goodness. What you're planning to tell me about my friend, is it something good?" "No, on the contrary." So Socrates continued, "You want to tell me something bad about him, but you're not certain whether it's true. You may still pass the test, though, because there's one filter left, the filter of usefulness." What you want to tell me about my friend, is it going to be useful to me? No, not really. Well, concluded Socrates, if what you want to tell me about him, which may neither be true, nor good, nor even useful, then why tell me at all? Page 22. In a nutshell, let us not just get carried away by the situation or talk. When any situation or such talks take place, let us give it this very simple triple filter test. Quotable quotes. When the character of a man is not clear to us, let us look at his friends. He who seeks a friend without fault remains without a friend. Let us not tell our friend anything which we cannot tell our enemy, and let us not tell our enemy anything which we cannot tell to our friend. With time and situation, friends and enemies keep on changing. If we have the habit of minding other people's business, our own business might become bankrupt. Self-control will give us unlimited control. Page 23. The Gift. A young man was about to graduate from college. For many months he had admired a beautiful sports car in a dealer's showroom, and knowing that his father could well afford it, he told him that was all he wanted. As graduation day approached, the young man awaited signs that his father must have purchased the car as a gift. Finally, on the day of his graduation, his father called him into his private study. His father told him how proud he was to have such a fine son, and told him how much he loved him. He handed his son a beautifully wrapped gift box. Curious but somewhat disappointed, the young man opened the box and found a lovely leather-bound Bible. Angrily he raised his voice at his father and said, "With all your money you give me a Bible," and stormed out of the house, leaving the holy book. Many years passed and the young man was very successful in business. He had a beautiful home and a wonderful family, but realized that his father was very old and thought perhaps he should go to him. He had not seen him since that graduation day. Before he could make arrangements to go, he received a telegram telling him that his father had passed away and willed all of his possessions to his son. He needed to come home immediately and take care of things. Page 24, the story, The Gift, continued. When he arrived at his father's house, sudden sadness and regret filled his heart. He began to search his father's important papers and saw the still new Bible just as he had left it years ago. With tears he opened the Bible and began to turn the pages. As he read, suddenly, a car key dropped from an envelope taped behind the Bible. It had a tag with the dealer's name, the same dealer who had the sports car he had desired. On the tag was the date of his graduation and the words, "Paid in full." How many times do we miss God's blessing because they are not packed as we expected? Patience is a bitter plant, but it has a sweeter fruit. Let us never cut what we can untie. If we have love, we don't need anything else. And if we do not have love, it does not matter what else we have and how much we have. Page 25, A Bag of Biscuits. One night there was a woman at the airport who had to wait for several hours before catching her next flight. While she waited, she bought a book and a packet of biscuits to spend the time. She was deep into her book when suddenly she realized that there was a young man sitting next to her who was stretching his hand with no concern whatsoever and grabbing the pack of cookies lying between them. He started to eat them one by one. Not wanting to make a fuss about it, she decided to ignore him. The woman, slightly bothered, ate the cookies and watched the clock while the young and shameless thief of biscuits was also finishing them. The woman started to get really angry at this point and thought, "If I was not such a good and educated person, I would have given this daring man a black eye by now." Every time she ate a biscuit, he had one too. The dialogue between their eyes continued, and when only one biscuit was left, she wondered what he was going to do. Softly and with a nervous smile, the young man grabbed the last biscuit and broke it in two. He offered one half to the woman while he ate the other half. Briskly she took the biscuit and thought, "What an insolent man, how uneducated, he didn't even thank me." She'd never met anybody like this and was relieved to hear when her flight was announced. She grabbed her bags and went towards the boarding gate, refusing to look back to where that insolent thief was seated. Page 26. A bag of biscuits continued. After boarding the plane and nicely seated, she looked for her book, which was nearly finished by now. While looking into her bag, she was totally surprised to find her pack of biscuits intact. "If my biscuits are here," she thought, feeling terrible. Those others were his, and he tried to share them with me. Too late to apologize to the young man, she realized with pain that she was insolent, uneducated, and a thief, and not him. How many times in our lives had we known with certainty that something happened in a certain way only to discover later that it wasn't true? How many times has our lack of trust within us made us judge other people unfairly with our conceited ideas often far away from reality? That is why we have to think twice before we judge others. Let us always give others the benefit of doubt before we think badly of them. Page 27. Quotable quotes. We are not troubled by things, but by the opinion we have of things. We have learned that whenever we decide something with an open heart, we usually make a better decision. Acceptance of a problem will reduce its impact. Let us treat everyone with politeness, even to those who are rude to us, not because they are not nice, but because we are nice. When we are right does not give us the right to talk wrongly. For those who believe, no explanation is necessary. For those who do not, no explanation is possible. Let us not only go through the book, let us also grow through the book.